Hello everyone, I'm Sojong Kim. So in this time we are going to solve this machine selection, actually model selection problem. So if you look at the problem here, we have a machine producing two interchangeable products. So the daily capacity of the machine can produce at most 20 units of product 1 and 10 units of product 2. Or the machine can adjust to produce at most 12 units of product 1 and 25 units of product 2 daily. So, and we have another requirement about the market analysis. So we know the maximum daily demand for two product types, and it is which is 35. Combined demand is 35 units. And so, we want to actually maximize the profit, of course, of the manufacturing facility by selecting the one of two models types, production types, and then here the product price, unit price is $10 for the product 1 and $12 for the product 2. So here, which of the two machine settings should be selected? Mhm. And whenever you have a selection problem, you should consider the binary decision variable, because in this case we need to select either first option or second option. So first option is here and second option is here, right? So in my modeling, in my ILP model, integer program model, I have the y binary binary decision variable. So it can be 1 if the first setting is selected, otherwise it can be 0. Mhm. And also x1, I have the two additional decision variables referring to production quantity of product 1 and product 2, so that we can calculate the total profit of the facility. Got it? So my object function only include two decision variables associated production quantity of product 1 and product 2, because we know their unit price, which is $10 and $12. So you can make your IFP model as a maximization problem, okay, including several constraints. Got it? We know that total production quantity can be less than or equals to 35 because of this statement, right? Maximum daily demand for two products combined is 35 units. So we have that one. Okay, and then next one is very tricky. So initially x1 cannot be greater than 12, especially when we select what? When we select which option? Second option. Mhm. Otherwise, it can be up to 20 unit. Mhm. So, which means you should consider you have to combine these two requirements into the one constraint, associate the production quantity of product 1. Got it? So, if y value in my model, y value becomes 1, which means if we select the first option and then x1 can be what? It can be 20 when y1 is 1, right? Otherwise, it can be 12, which means if we select the second option. So this second constraint eventually include two different requirements associated with the production quantity of product 1. Similarly, you can add another constraint associated with the production quantity of product 2 involving y variable. So in this case, if we choose the second option, the production quantity of product 2 cannot be greater than 25. Got it? And if we select the first option, then it becomes 10 unit. So eventually, if we select first option and then y value become 1, so that our limit will be changed to 10. Got it? When y1 is 1. In other words, first option is selected. And also we know that y is a binary variable and x1 x2 is greater than equal to 0 and they are an integer. So here our ILP model should be like this. Otherwise, if you decide to use two different like a y variable for the selection of each option, you should, let's say you have one y1 and then if you have y2 alternatively, if second oops setting selected, then you have to add one more constraint, which is which show the relationship between what y1 and plus y2 must be 1, so that you can only select the one of the option. Got it? Okay, so let me go back to my original model. So let's solve this model using solver. So eventually we will get this solution, but let's use Excel directly to get the solution. It takes time to open the program in my computer. Anyway, so in here, just check whether you should check whether you have the solver in your Excel or not. If you don't have the solver here, then definitely you can go to the option and then click the add-in so that you can add the solver add-in into your Excel. But in my case, I already have one. I already did this. First of all, whenever you use Excel, yes, you have to define the decision variable first. We have two decision variables. Nope, we have three, right? Last one is a binary variable. And then we have multiple constraint related to the three variables. So we have to calculate the left hand side of each constraint and each right hand side. So inequality will be less than equal to for three options, three constraint, right? Okay, so what's the coefficient of the x1 in the first constraint? So 1, 1, and this is 0 because there is no y, in the first constraint, and the limit is 35. Same thing, next one is 1, and there's no x2 in the second one here, so it is minus 8, true, and limit will be 12. Last one is 25, third one, and then there's no x1 in the third constraint, and x2 equals to 1, and coefficient of x2 is 1 and 15 here, which is a constraint of the y. And total, you can use some product function including the three decision variables and their coefficients, so that you can calculate the value of the left hand side in Excel. Now press F4 so that you can use your absolute reference function, which will reference these three decision variables. Okay, and then you can just use the autofill function. And last one is objective. You don't really need to care about these two constraints because we can put these constraints in solver directly. Object function is the same thing, x1, x2, y, and the coefficient of the x1 is 10, right here, so 12, and this is 0, and still you can just copy and paste the sum product function so that you can have your object value. So this is referencing decision variable and three constraint coefficients. Oops. Okay, here. Then now you are ready to use solver. So go to data and click solver, and we want to maximize profit by changing the value of decision variables, and we know that this is a binary variable, so you should click binary. Okay, and then add other three constraint here, and also we know that these two are integer. Oops. Click OK. And as you can see, make on constraint variable non-negative, so you don't really need to care about non-negativity condition, and we are going to use simplex LP and solve. Okay, so now you get the solution. So we have to, what's the meaning of this? So we have to select the first option, no, second option, right, because this is 0, and x1 will be, so that x1 will be 10 and x2 will be 25, and total will be 400. And this is a solution of this problem. Thank you.